Hey guys, Corth Camel ADV. We're going to do the install video for the rad frame brace for the Yamaha T7. This is V2, so we are backwards compatible with the older version of the bike, and we are now compatible with the 25 and up bikes. There's a couple extra brackets, and there's some different clearances and things in the main brackets. Install is very similar to the original, but there are some slight changes, so check it out. If you are ordering from a dealer, make sure that you are ordering V2 if you have a 25 or newer bike. We are not producing the older one, but that doesn't mean that dealers don't have old stock kicking around. So just make sure that you are getting the right kit for your bike. Install is pretty quick and easy. Let's get at it. So we have to remove the side plastic on the bike. Removing it is a bit different than the previous generation, but it is very similar. So we're just going to take a T30 Torx, and we're going to need a 10 mil, or I'm going to need a 10 mil because I can't turn the bars to get at the top one here because the bike is on the stand. But we're just going to start popping fasteners off here. So we're going to grab this one and this one. This is just a T30 Torx. And on the 25 and 26, most of these bolts, these used to be shoulder bolts here. They had a collar built into them, and now it's two pieces, so just be aware of that when you're taking it out, that these don't go flying away. And then we got the plastic push pins here, just a quarter turn, and then they pop out. One up front here. And then this one, if you don't have your bike in a stand, you'll be able to get that with a screwdriver, but I'm going to have to use a wrench. And then we're going to come down here, and there's 3 fasteners per side here, and these are just the quarter turn plastic clips as well. So most of the time with these, you can literally just take the socket, and you don't even need a ratchet or a screwdriver handle. Just a quick twist here. It's nice to work on a bike lift, but it's kind of a pain because we've got the front wheel clamped in, and I can't turn the bars to get the forks out of the way. If I could, I would just be using a screwdriver on this. And with that done, we're just going to grab the fairing here. And there are a bunch of pop clips in here. They're really kind of annoying. I'm not a big fan. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? And then we've got a clip here for the signal light connector. These guys are super big and beefy compared to the last generation. And we'll set this fairing aside, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Before we go to the other side, I'm going to pop this intermediate panel off here. So another push pin here, just push the center in it, and that releases it. I'm going to come down here. This is a 4 mil. And again, we'll just set the intermediate trim piece aside. And we're going to run around to the other side and do it. This is all exactly the same as the other side. Same number of fasteners, same positions. So in your kit, we've got both the side plates here. The old kit only had 1 tab. This one's got 2 more, just to work with the 2025. We've got the fastener pack here. And then we've got our 2 rods. In your kit, you have paperwork. There are stickers in here. Please read any paperwork that comes in the kit. If we have any changes, we will add them to the paperwork. We're not going to shoot a new video if we make a minor change. So please read the paperwork in your kit. It will save you a bunch of grief and us as well. First order of business, we're going to take these 2 guys out here. We will not be reusing the OE bolts, so you can set them aside. So we've got 2 of our tabs here. This one is the right side bracket. This one is the left. So grab the right side bracket, put our bolts and washers through the holes. And then we're going to take our right side plate, put the bolts through here. Slide this on. Get the bolts started. So there is a little bit of play. In the brackets here, these need to be able to move around. Same with this one here. So if your bike is brand new, you don't even need to use this bracket. If your bike's got some miles on it and this OEM sheet metal bracket here is trashed, then you're going to use this. And if you're If your OE bracket here is smashed and banged, you might need to smack it a bit more with a hammer to get it out of the way. And then you're going to put one of these speed nuts on here. So this just has threads in the back. If this bracket is no longer there or is completely mangled, then this is what's going to hold this section of that mid trim piece here. So we're going to clip that on. If you have an older bike, a 2020 to 24, then you're going to end up using this hole. Just trying to make this kit as to supersede the previous kit. So we wanted to make sure that we have one kit that covers both bikes. So that's what we've done here. So I'm just going to take the OE bolt here that was holding the trim piece. I'm just going to put this in here to make sure that that hole is lined up. And then we can snug these up a little bit. So the stainless steel rod is the upper rod. And we're going to feed it through here. Just right by the rad cap. You want to make sure when you position all this stuff, just have a look for clearance at that cap. Make sure that the bar isn't going to make it impossible for you to get the rad cap off if you need. So both of the bars have a hex or a flat on them. So we're going to take a 17 mil wrench here to hold the bar. And we've got a 6 mil Allen. Something I should have done when I was over on the side earlier is to move the horn. The bar comes right across here, the rod. So we're gonna have to move the horn out of the way or reposition it. I'm gonna pop the horn off here completely. These electrical connectors. Just be careful you don't pull the wires off the terminals. They are pretty tight from the factory. The plastic heat protector here for the horn is kind of a pain to get it. It's retaining bolt. There's a bunch of stuff in the way. So we have to move the coolant overflow bottle. And just let this drop down. Just make sure you have it sitting somewhere it's not going to spill everywhere. Like that. Ugh. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't make that mess. There's a 10 mil nut that's right here. There's a stud coming off this bracket. And then, so there's a chrome or zinc plated bolt here. And then just below it, there's a black one that's really tough to see. So I've got a 10 mil, a short 10 mil socket. I've got a 4-inch extension. This is gonna be kind of tight in here. You're gonna end up running into the rubber hose. So you don't wanna go too long. You might be able to do it with a deep socket, but spin this out. And this is a bit of a hassle because the nut is threading out and it's pushing everything back this way into this rubber hose here. There we go. And that's what we're going for. So hold on to the nut that you just took off. So you're going to take your horn, the nut that just came out, and you're going to kind of find it a little bit easier to do this, to put the bolt in from the back side. It's a little bit easier than messing with the nut. A little easier to hang on to. You can turn that sideways here, put the nut on, and then I've got a just holding the bolt here on the back side. So if you just come down here, there's a zip tie right here that's holding these. So we're just going to snip that zip tie so we can get enough length on the wires for the horn. So we just reconnect the horn here. And we're done with that. We can put the coolant bottle back on. So we take our aluminum crossbar and one of our shoulder bolts. These guys already have Loctite on them. They're already encapsulated. And then same thing, the rod has got flats on it to accept a 17 mil wrench. And then we're going to run over the other side. So we've got the rods already through here. This has got a lot more clearance than the previous generation. With the wiring here, this can be quite tight on the 2020 to 24, but we seem to have a lot more room here on the 25. So same as the other side, we're going to knock these bolts out. Set those aside. So this piece is changed from previous generations. It didn't have this. These relays weren't there. So this piece is one of the main differences between the older version and this one. So we're going to take our bracket here. This stud goes into the rubber here. And then you have the rods coming through. So we're going to start the shoulder bolts. We're not going to tighten them all the way. We want a little bit of wiggle in here until we get everything installed. In lieu of this piece, we have these two pieces here. And again, just like the other bracket, depending on what year your bike is, you may be using the outer hole or you might use the inside hole. So on the 25, we're going to use the outside hole, and we've got a speed nut here. So we're going to take the tab, we're going to put the relay bracket over top, we're going to take the bolts, get them started. We stack the whole assembly together. So just have a look here before you fully tighten these bolts down. Just make sure that nothing is contacting anywhere. There's a bit of wiggle in here, so just make sure that everything is where you want it. I'm going to take the relays, going to slide the rubber things here onto the bracket. The back one is a little bit tight to get at. I don't like to do it beforehand though, because then we're wiggling with these wires and the bolts, we're messing around. It's a bit of a pain in the butt. So then we're just going to snug these guys up. Like so. Before you get too far here, just make sure there's the speed nut is in a spot where the threads are lined up properly. This one's off a little bit. Just going to pop over to the other side, make sure everything's lined up. You can line it up with the edge of the rad here, the edge of our bracket with the edge of the rad. Just have a quick look. Thing looks askew, and then we're going to snug these up. So we're going to start reassembling the bike. And this will go same as it came apart. It's just going to be backwards. In your kit here, there's two M4 bolts, M4 by 25s. And we're going to put that in the collar here. And that goes through the rubber section. And that's going to go into that speed nut. And then we've got the plastic push pin as well. So that guy's going to get started there. So the head size, come on, get started. Just snap this push pin in here, like so. So the included bolts have a 3mm head, the OE have a 4. A lot of these fasteners are OEM specific. Trying to find an M4 bolt that has an M4 head is really difficult. Aftermarket, a lot of the manufacturers have custom made stuff. So these are a little bit smaller. I would love to be able to do it with a 4mm, but they're just not readily available. Haven't found them anywhere. If I can find them, I'll absolutely do that. I'm gonna take one of our quarter turn fasteners here. That's all secure. So on the fairing, there's a couple of slots here. There's these pins, there's slots. Watch for this kind of thing here. These clips pop out. I am not a fan of these at all. I really wish that they had done this a different way. I'm not a fan of these either, but I prefer these to these. I just don't think these are going to last very long. This one here is going to pop in at the top up here, so they do take a little bit of wiggle to get them in. Start with the signal light connector, and then Just get all this stuff lined up here, and then you kind of just, that's a gross noise, I hate it. Absolutely hate it. I just don't have a lot of faith that after you drop the bike a couple of times, that any of this stuff is still going to be there. So we're going to take our collars and our bolts and start putting this all back together. And leave things a little bit loose until we make sure that we get them all installed properly. Again, T30 Torx screwdriver is what I'm using here. And then just more push pins down here. Try to keep my big bald head out of the way. So usually you can get the little bit of a turn you need here to lock these in by hand. If not, just grab a socket and do them. This side's wrapped up, we'll hit the other side. So I stuck this bolt in here just to make sure this was all lined up before I tightened this stuff, so I'll take that back out. So we'll take our intermediate trim piece. There's 2 holes here on the tank. It's the higher one that's a little bit more forward. Pop that in. So the smaller collars are what holds the fairings to the bike, and then the big collar here is what goes through this rubber grommet. And that again is with one of our M4 by 25s. And that is going to go through. We can't reuse the OE bolts because they're just a hair too short, which is why we've got to go with these longer ones. I'm going to come up to the front here with another 1/4 turn fastener. So again, signal light connector, pop that guy on, line up all these tabs. Again, just have a look. Just have a look at all these metal tabs. Sometimes they stay in the female section and sometimes they end up sticking to the male bits up top here. I think they're supposed to stay in the female side. They just don't always do it. So just get this all lined up here. And like so, bolt and collar. Collar up here. And then our last collar and bolt. Put in the front here. And just, you have to give the plastic a little bit of a wiggle. Some of these holes are slotted, so just make sure everything's lined up. And then we've got the 3 1/4 turn push pins, pop rivets, whatever you want to call them. So when you're done, you're going to have some hardware left over. This is the OE bracket from the left side. That's the horn heat shield. We've got the 2 bolts here that went through the rubber mounted the big collar. We've got 4 of these bolts that were originally holding the faux frame rails on here. So those are all left over. And if you're using the bracket on a bike that still has that sheet metal intact, you're going to end up with an extra speed nut, but we also threw an extra one in as well. Sometimes you can cross thread these ones a little bit easier than you'd like, so we threw an extra one in there. So just be careful when you're putting these in. The bolt's stainless and these guys are stainless, so just be careful when you're putting them in, but there is an extra here in case you need it. That's all there is to installing the Camel ADV rad brace for the Yamaha T7. If you have any questions, as always, info@camel-adv.com. Thanks for watching.